So the asset management has to clearly play that role. And I'd like to sort of hear your perspective on how you're thinking about how asset management in crypto itself will evolve.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think we're the right two people to be having that conversation because it's like two arrows doing the same thing, right? We are bringing crypto funds to traditional investors, and what you're doing is taking what traditional investors have historically done with structured products, and particularly on the cutting edge with AI overlays, and bringing that to the DeFi space. I eventually think that these two things cross and merge. I think you're positioned in where the market is headed, and I'm positioned on sort of a transitional part of the market. They're both great businesses, but I am aware that the long-term future of asset management, I think, looks more like what you're building ultimately than what I'm building. Now, what we're building in the traditional space has a huge way to run. It has a really important role for the evolution of crypto, and I think it will be around for decades. But I do think ultimately asset management will, I call it, dematerialize. And as UX improves, a lot of it's going to be moving on to decentralized finance rails. The big story that connects, I think, both of our businesses is growth. As you mentioned, we're like 30x underpenetrated, right? So there's massive growth on both sides of this equation, and I think ultimately, the businesses may look similar in the very long run.
No, absolutely. And what's your view on that very long run? How long do you think crypto asset management will take to reach from here to 10-15%, and then from there doubling down to sort of 30%? How long will that first step take? And of course, it'll be a combination of structures, large institutional structures like Bitwise, and where things are possibly headed is all the whole DeFi asset management as such. It'll be a combination of that. But what's your overview or bird's eye view on the timeline?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't have a specific timeline in mind, but I actually think it will happen faster than people think. Um, I look at Bitwise's asset growth as one example, and the one I'm most familiar with. And it's scaling at something that it's not exponential, but it looks like that, right? Like 3 years to get to 100 million, another 3 years to get to a billion. By our ninth year, it could be 100 billion, right? I mean, it's that kind of inflection growth. So I think the next 5 years are going to be really exciting. I think the next 10 years, the crypto asset management space will be mature, and we'll be talking about, an X trillion-dollar market, and asset management representing something like 20-30% of the market, like it does in other areas. It's happening, right? I had a call with a pension fund yesterday. That's being replicated thousands of times. So within the next 10 years, I think we have these dual tailwinds of a growing market and then a massive growing share of that market. It's a pretty exciting combo.